Okay, so this is going to be a very interesting and exciting video. So I just got a package, this one from Google. It doesn't really say Google on it, but I was expecting a package about this size at about this time period from Google. So hopefully it's from Google. Imagine if this is like a completely random package from a random company, I don't know, like a jacket or something, because it kind of feels like there's a jacket inside. So that would be a pretty interesting video to watch. In that case, I'll rename the title of this video into Mystery Package from Google Fail. So if you see that title, you probably know what this means. But if you don't, well, this is going to be a pretty interesting package. So grab some popcorn and let's take a look at what's inside. Okay, so first off, this is a fairly large package, as you can see. Here's a size comparison against an iPhone X box. So yeah, there should be quite a few things inside this package, not just that jacket. Okay, so opening up the package and we get to another package. And opening that up and we get to the first thing that we get inside, and that's actually a Google backpack. So this one's actually pretty cool. It's a fairly minimalistic backpack. So you get the Google logo on the front, but other than that, it's entirely black. So you get this really nice stealthy look and feel, and it seems to have been made in collaboration with Herschel. And yeah, on the front we have a standard pocket, and we have a standard non-padded back, which is still black, by the way. It's just a tiny bit dirty from the shipping, I'm guessing. But overall, it's a pretty clean looking backpack. It's pretty nice looking. I'm more into gray backpacks, such as this Norton one, which I really like. In case you're interested in that one, I've actually included a link for that in the description if you're interested. But other than that, it's a pretty nice and standard looking backpack, black with a Google logo on the front. But wait, there seems to be something else inside this backpack. It's actually pretty heavy, so let me just open this up, and okay, the first thing that we get is the small box #Team Pixel Ask More. Now this one actually seems to be pretty badly damaged, at least the wrapping for some reason, but the actual packaging seems to be fine. So inside we get, yes, we get the Google Pixel 2 XL. I've been waiting for this for a really long time. Finally got one. Now, in case you're wondering why I didn't get the Google Pixel 2 before, that's because it only came out, the Pixel 2 XL, in the UK at the end of November. So there was no way of getting one before that, apart from a review unit, which is the one that I actually got right now. So let me know in the comments what videos do you want me to make on the Pixel 2 XL. I'll definitely have an in-depth review in the upcoming weeks once I get to spend more time with this. And if you want me to do something specific, such as a Zone of Tech in-depth camera comparison, like I've done in the previous videos, or an ultimate speed test against different smartphones, do let me know in the comments. Now, going back to the Pixel 2 XL box, inside, apart from the Pixel 2 XL, we also get this booklet, Welcome to #Team Pixel, and inside that booklet we get the quick start guide, which basically tells you a few things to get started, and we also get the warranty and the safety guide, along with a SIM eject tool. Then we get a USB-C to USB-A adapter, which is really useful when you want to transfer data to and from the Pixel, and removing that, and we get to the charging cable, which, by the way, unlike the Pixel 1 cable, we only get a single USB-C to USB-C cable, so no USB-C to USB-A. We also get a 3.5mm to USB-C headphone jack adapter, since the Pixel 2, by the way, doesn't come with a headphone jack anymore. And then finally, we also get a power adapter, which does support fast charging right out of the box. So you don't need to buy a separate one. Tim? Okay, so quick first impressions with a Google Pixel 2 XL. So the display is actually surprisingly not as bad as I would have thought. Yes, you do get a significant color shift compared to some other AMOLED panels from Samsung. The display, this one is actually manufactured by LG, by the way. But color-wise, after Google's recent updates, the display actually got a pretty major improvement in terms of color reproduction. So I feel like this is actually turning into more of like a review, so I'm gonna try and keep it short. Apart from the display, which is actually much better than I expected after the update, the speakers are also pretty good. So you get dual front stereo speakers now, but once you max out the volume, the sound actually starts getting distorted quite a lot. Just listen to this. But other than that, it feels very good in the hand. The back has this grippy texture, which I really like. Now, I've actually heard that this one scratches very easily, so you definitely want a case on this one. And by the way, I actually have a tiny micro scratch already. So I'll definitely get a case on this day one. Now, in terms of the performance, this is one of the fastest Android phones I've ever used. I'm not saying the fastest because animations on the OnePlus 5T are a tiny bit faster, by the way. But in terms of fluidity, if you're looking for the cleanest Android experience, and also updates on day one, which is still a very big issue with Android, then the Pixel 2 XL or the Pixel 2 or pretty much any Pixel phone, Pixel 1 as well, these are the best options right now. I haven't really gotten the chance to test out the camera yet, but from what I've seen, the Pixel 2 and the Pixel 2 XL, they seem to have the best camera for daytime shots. And even the portrait mode is really, really good, considering that this thing only has a single lens camera module. And essentially the way it works is that the sensor actually has dual pixels, and then Google actually measures the distance between those pixels, and this is how the depth effect works. So it's pretty impressive. It actually works really, really well. Compared to even the competition that comes with dual lens camera modules. But definitely stay tuned for my in-depth review on the Google Pixel 2 XL by the end of December. And let me know if you want me to do some extremely detailed zone of tech camera comparisons like I've done before. In case you haven't seen those, definitely give those a watch. But yeah, let me know if you want me to do a camera comparison comparing this thing against different smartphones and what smartphones exactly. Now, apart from the Pixel 2 XL, if you take a look at the backpack, there's something else inside. And that's actually this much larger box, which actually contains a Google Pixel Book. There you go. The Google wrap seems to be quite damaged for some reason, but yeah, other than that, by the way, the box itself is fine. So on the front of the box, we have an image of the Pixel Book itself, and on the back, we have a pretty good pun, considering that the display is actually foldable in both ways. Okay, so opening up the box, and there it is, the Google Pixel Book. So wow, it looks really, really nice. Let me just put this to the side for just 1 second. I'll have a look at it soon. And let's take a look at what else we get inside. So we get this booklet, which actually contains the quick start guide along with a tips booklet with essentially the ports and the 4 modes that you can use the Pixel Book in. And then we also get the warranty and the safety guide, along with the USB-C to USB-C charging cable. And we also get a power adapter, which is significantly larger than the Pixel 2's one, obviously. But strangely enough, it comes with the USB-C port on the side rather than on the top like most USB-C power adapters. Okay, so what's the deal with this Pixel Book? Well, it's actually a very different device when compared to any other laptops or tablets on the market right now. I'll have a separate in-depth review on the Pixel Book by the end of the month, so definitely stay tuned for that. There's a lot of things that I want to cover and that I want to talk about, but long story short, this is actually very, very similar to Microsoft Surface Book or the Lenovo Yoga books, if you're familiar with those. So it's essentially a 2-in-1 device, so both the laptop and the tablet. And there's actually 4 ways that you can fold it, either as a standard laptop, or you can also fold it as a tablet and use it as a tablet, or you can use the keyboard as a stand. And then finally you have the stand mode, which is actually perfect for viewing content. Then taking a look at the actual design, the design is very, very premium, and this thing is really well built. Considering that this thing costs £1,000 or $1,000, it's comparable to a MacBook or a Surface when it comes to the build quality. It's also really, really thin, by the way. This thing feels like a tablet. It's also extremely light, so yeah, in the end it feels like a small tablet rather than an actual laptop. Now, taking a look at the display itself, this is a quad-inch display, but it also comes in this really interesting 4:3 aspect ratio. This is something that we've had on laptops many, many years ago, if you remember those. Google actually says that they have this aspect ratio since they're actually better for reading, and yeah, I pretty much agree. You do get more vertical space to play around with. And then considering that you would also be using this as a tablet fairly often, 4:3 makes a lot of sense actually. But probably the number one thing that you should know about this laptop, apart from that design and the build quality, which are actually one of the best I've seen on a laptop, is the fact that it actually runs Chrome OS. Now I'll get into more detail as to what Chrome OS is, what it does, and what you can do with it as an operating system, since it's actually a lot more capable than most people believe. But essentially, yes, you won't be running a full version of Photoshop on this thing, or doing video editing, or pretty much anything other than browsing the web in Chrome and installing a few extra apps, which most of them at the moment don't work. But yeah, I'll get to that in a future video. So this is essentially the reason why Google made this and all the other Chromebooks. They made them as laptops for someone who only needs Chrome, and that's pretty much it. But there's a few very interesting things that you can do with a Pixel Book. For example, did you know that you can also run full Android apps on this thing? Which at the moment, by the way, this is the thing that I was mentioning, that it doesn't work at the moment because it's not enabled yet, but soon. And you can also, although not officially, you can install a Linux distribution on this thing. And then it also comes with some really, really nice specs, with up to a Kaby Lake i7 processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and up to 512 gigabytes of flash storage. Now, I haven't actually seen any reviews or any reviewers mentioning that although this is an i7 or i5 processor, The model is a Y model of those chips. So essentially the Y model is a rebranded Candy Lake Intel Core M processor. So it's essentially the same Core M that you get in the 12-inch MacBooks. So it's a fanless chip, but it's also significantly weaker than what you would find in some thicker laptops with actual fans and, more powerful, more power-hungry i5s and i7 processors. But honestly, that's still fine, because even a 3rd generation Core M, this is a 3rd generation Core M, even this one is really, it's pretty much overpowered when it comes to running Chrome all day, because this is what you'll be doing on this thing all day, running Chrome. Again, I'll talk more about Chrome OS and the Pixelbook in my full in-depth review, so definitely subscribe if you want to see that as soon as it comes out, and also enable notifications by tapping on the bell icon so that you get notified as soon as a new cool tech video comes out. Also stay tuned for more videos covering the Pixel 2 XL, and then let me know in the comments what do you want me to test, what do you want to see specifically in my future videos regarding those two devices. Apart from the reviews, what do you want me to test and try out? Let me know in the comments. Huge thanks to Google for sending those out. Oh, and I also got 2 Google stickers. Well, they're not really stickers, they're more of like emblems to be more precise. But yeah, there you go, this has been pretty much it for this video. Stay tuned for more interesting videos like this one on the channel. I have a few more coming soon, very soon, and this has been pretty much it. So thank you for watching, I'm Daniel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Zen of Tech, signing out. Cheers.